Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Last Things Last podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Myers, joined with my lovely co-hosts, Justin Mandia and MJ Nesgoda. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So we got some good stuff to get into. MJ's got his Propa 12 going for him.
Connor, hit me up.
Where's your Pink Whitney, Justin?
Oh, it's here.
Oh,
Pink
little
Whitney.
Pink Whitney.
This is what's
Whitney.
left of it. This is the old. I'd finished it.
Because it tastes like lemonade. That's an
the holiday
absolute
season's coming, Justin. You got to load up on some Pink Whitney.
Oh, I'm gonna go down to the liquor store tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to go out today, but there's 15 inches of snow that came today in Colorado, so I'm not going anywhere except to work tomorrow.
Nope.
You what?
Nothing. I edited myself. It's all good. Just use your imagination.
We're going to get started with the recap of the Wilder-Ortiz fight number 2 that happened on Saturday night. Thanks to everybody that got involved during the live tweeting on our end of that. It was really cool to chat with some of you guys about the fight round by round. So through the whole thing, I thought Ortiz was doing exactly what he should do. I thought he was winning all but maybe 1 or 2 rounds up till that point. And then just round 7, the trip hammer fell, and that was lights out. That was it. Game over. And, Justin, your brother and I were talking about it. It's like, this is the opposite reason why we hate Floyd Mayweather. It's like Mayweather dances around the ring and wins, and it's a really boring fight. And then you get this guy, and you get these awesome knockouts, but it's like he's not that great a boxer. So he's got like the one punch. But we'll talk about that.
That we will.
But Justin, what did you see in the fight?
I had to watch it late, like the next day. And so watching it when you already know the outcome was I felt like I kind of skewed my view a little bit because I knew that Ortiz was winning, but I knew what the ending was going to be too. I don't know if you can say Wilder isn't that. I think that he gets a lot of crap for not being the most technical boxer, but I also feel like you don't get the 41-0-1 without being able to box a little bit.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Like, I think that while he's a one-trick pony in the sense that his one trick is really freaking good, I just don't think he's been tested twice in his entire career. And it was that Ortiz, actually probably 3 times, because I don't think this fight he was really tested. It just Ortiz was winning. The first one, he was tested pretty bad, and I think it was like the 7th round. He got hit real bad
with the left hand, yeah.
He got beat up pretty bad in that first Ortiz fight before he knocked him out. And then the one, obviously, his tie was a big test against Tyson Fury. But other than that, he hasn't really been tested. So I feel like we haven't had to see technical boxing from him and he hasn't really had to use it or practice it because he's just been crushing people.
Sure.
Missiles.
Yeah. MJ?
Everyone's got to play until they get punched in the mouth.
No kidding.
That's all I have to say there. I don't know how you could say he's a one-trick pony when his trick works every time.
Exactly, yeah. He doesn't need to have more than one.
But what's great about this is it's bringing a lot of light back to the heavyweight division, which I think's been really struggling. I mean, we had the golden boy Anthony Joshua as things were taking place, and then Fury kind of went off and had his issues, and I'm glad to see him back. But now with Fury back, Wilder being as dominant as Ruiz with the upset of upsets, which I believe that fight clause immediately went into effect. So he is fighting Anthony Joshua again.
Good.
Which I think Wilder.
Give me Wilder Joshua.
I don't think Joshua wants that fight right now.
I don't think Joshua's going to beat Ruiz.
I don't think he is either, and he definitely doesn't want that fight with Wilder. The thing is with him, and we keep seeing this, and my whole point in saying, his boxing skills aren't that great. Okay. My point is he doesn't have to have the different speed that you need, like the faster hands or anything like that. All he's got to do is wait for you to take the bait, and he's going to knock you out. He's going to knock you out. It's just going to happen. So like you were saying, MJ and Justin, he's got that one punch, and it works. And everybody kind of gives him crap, like all the boxing aficionados are like, you know what? One of these times he's not going to be able to land that right hand. He's going to lose. And I'm like,
when?
I don't know, dude.
When's that happening?
He hasn't proved that he can't land it yet. So, and you know what? It was funny.
42 wins.
As
42.
I'm watching the fight, I'm going, man, I like that Ortiz is trying a different approach here. But then by about round 5 or 6, I was like, dude, he's being too conservative.
Yep.
And now Wilder knows what's happening, and he's gonna just take the moment.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing Wilder doesn't get credit for is, you know, the rounds that he's losing. He's patient. He's watching
because he knows he'll win.
No, but he's picking apart where that punch is going to come. Like he's the best fighter in the sense that, if you look at any fighter, you know, any regrets they have when looking at their records, it never should have went to the judges.
Absolutely,
and he ensures that every time.
Dude,
one time it goes to the judges, him and Fury get a draw.
When we talked about, wasn't it? It was that fight and the Canelo Triple G fight where we were like, "Oh my God, the judges ruined this fight." Judge, like,
you can't trust boxing judges too.
Dude, it's terrible. So you're absolutely right. You don't want to let it get to the judges because then you can get a skewed result anyway.
And I think that what MJ said about the heavyweight division kind of being back with Wilder, Joshua, Fury, Ruiz, you have a bunch of good guys now. I think that's what boxing needs.
Absolutely.
It's really weird to think that, like in the UFC, the most popular division – well, that's not true. The most popular division in UFC is like lightweight, middleweight, welterweight. Like there's a lot, like 155, 170.
Popular. But in boxing, it's just not. Like Lomachenko is probably the best boxer that we have right now. And he's fighting on ESPN.
Dude, I love Vasily Lomachenko. He is the best pound-for-pound fighter I've watched in the last 3 years. I mean,
and no one watches it.
But no one watches him, right?
In boxing, like no one watches it.
Yeah. No one's watching ESPN fights.
I mean, people watch Canelo, but it's true.
It was boring. Like, that's the thing. Like, you need a Wilder type to get people back into the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, folks that actually like fighting and like boxing, you want to see a Fury fight. Like, it's beautiful watching him duck.
Dude, when he came back from the dead in that Wilder fight, I was like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. He was just like
the only reason
go ahead, Jessica.
The only reason Mayweather even got any views was because he was so hated that people just wanted to watch him lose. It wasn't that his fights were exciting.
That's why I watched him. I was like, I want to see Pacquiao beat this guy.
Yeah. And like, what money does Pacquiao make when he's not fighting Mayweather? He doesn't get any views. So it's like the boxing is so heavyweight centric historically, even like boxers are Tyson, Ali, Frazier, like everyone that you can think of are heavyweight boxers.
Yeah,
so
Foreman,
like,
all of them.
You need that heavyweight division to thrive for boxing to thrive.
Here's something I want to bring up to you guys. There's been a lot of comparisons between Wilder and Tyson, and it bothers me because I think Tyson for sure was the better boxer, but I think Wilder's knockout punch is more powerful for sure. His one punch. I think Tyson has more punches that are powerful that he can catch you with, but I think Wilder just has that one, but it's deadly.
Kevin, if you get him by a dump truck, it doesn't matter what brand.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I don't think Wilder would beat him. Like, a lot of people are saying Wilder could beat Tyson in his prime, and I can't see it.
If you line up a compilation video of Mike Tyson knockouts, he's taking souls from bodies.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think he's just as powerful as a puncher.
Yeah. I think he's more powerful with all of his punches, for sure. Now, George Foreman said it best. The one thing Max Kellerman's good at is talking about boxing. And he had George Foreman
shot across the bow there.
Yeah, George Foreman on ESPN.
Sorry, Max.
And shut up, you agree with me.
No, dude, Max is great.
Okay. Foreman was like, he said, before I let you go, I got to ask you, would you have fought Mike Tyson in his prime? He's like, no. I was terrifying in the 70s. That guy is way more terrifying. I would have never wanted a piece of him. And that's coming from that guy.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. No, but like, I'm super happy to see the heavyweight division back, because that's what I mean. It's what the purists want to see is a good boxing match. The people that pay the bills, that actually buy the pay-per-views, want to see someone get knocked out. Plain and simple. They don't want to see decisions. They don't want to see dancing around the ring. They want to see someone get dropped. And with Wilder, you're going to get that every time, except Fury, which that was still a well-liked fight. Like everyone enjoyed that because the trash talking. I mean, everything about that fight was good.
And there was basically a knockout anyway. Fury just was a zombie and came back to life. So that was almost even more impressive.
Yeah, I want to see that fight again in the worst way. But yeah, great fight. Looking forward to more great heavyweight bouts in the future. But we're going to transfer here over to the NHL. The Mike Babcock story keeps getting better, boys. More players coming out, more past players, including Hall of Famer Chris Chelios, saying that they all tried to get Babcock fired. They didn't want him in Detroit. They didn't want him. Any of his Toronto players said they didn't want him there. He was a drill sergeant. If you didn't have a personal relationship with him, he was the worst person to be around. And I mean, that's the guy you're working for. So this is coming from a lot. Koliakovo, defenseman from the Red Wings, said the same thing. So there are people, and Henrik Zetterberg also took to Twitter and mentioned about it. He's like, if I didn't have a good relationship with Babcock, like personally, it would not have been a good time for me because he was incredibly hard on everybody. And it was not an enjoyable profession. It wasn't like being tough in the sense of motivation. It was just like, I don't like you kind of tough. But I'm going to pass it to you first, Justin, on this. What do you think about what's coming out about Babcock? Will he coach again? And do players in the NHL want him as their coach?
All right, so I saw a really, really interesting thing that said, I think it's 2016, that when he was coaching the Leafs, he had a rookie, unnamed rookie, but everyone is saying that it's Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner, yeah.
Unnamed rookie had to rank players based on who's working the hardest and who works the least hard, like give them a ranking on like 1 to 10 scale, and then told the people that Mitch Marner ranked like as giving the least effort, went and told those players that the rookie told them that, so like stuff that the coach should not be involving himself in, like creating rifts within the team.
Players only meeting.
Yeah. And like in a weird way, I can kind of see what he was trying to do, which is like you're trying to get your veterans fired up. So you go like, look, you're supposed to be the role models, and
that's the wrong way.
The rookie thinks that you're not even trying. So like you need to step your game up. But all that really does is be like, oh, rookie doesn't think I'm doing well. Look who's buying dinner for the next 3 months. Like that's not the way that goes. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting story, and it does just show a lot of the stuff I was watching. People were saying that Babcock kind of inherited that really good Detroit Red Wings team and won one Stanley Cup with them. Like, is that necessarily even considered a success? You know, it's almost
because he lost the next year
and lost and didn't even make it in subsequent years when they had one of the best.
And when he was with the Anaheim
teams.
Ducks, they got swept in the cup.
Yeah, so I think he's a decent coach, but I don't think that he knows how to relate to players. And as he gets older and the players stay the same, Billy Bob Thornton, as the players stay the same age, I think that's a big disconnect too.
Yeah.
Like 18-year-old kids that have been told that they're the best thing on their teams their entire life, and then they come and Mike Babcock is causing rifts within the team right away. I don't think that really flies in the NHL.
MJ, what do you think?
First, I think Justin sounds like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Dude, it's real low right now, isn't it? Your voice is so low right now.
That's what you sound like right now. Yeah.
Why?
So we should address that.
I don't know, man. How you doing?
My voice is normally very high pitched.
I know.
You sound like Buffalo Bill. I'm standing by what I said.
I think I might be getting sick then, dude. I don't know. Not even
Fun fact: Buffalo Bill's grave is 12 miles that way.
Wow, dude.
Why is that a fun fact? Anyway, back to
telling me that's where I'm gonna get. I'm not getting buried in Colorado. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh my God, Justin! I honestly can't bear to listen to you.
What is happening?
I don't know. Do you have like a modulator on there?
Yeah, is this thing a modulator? Like what? This is the first time I use this thing.
It's a pop filter, dude.
Apparently the pop in my voice is just how high pitched it is normally.
We should have used that. We should have put that on MJ's when he was peeing during the last episode.
Man uses the bathroom one time, and this is what happens because it took 2 hours to get started. Anyway,
dude, I'm gonna listen back to this at the end. There's no way my voice is like.
It sounds lower, dude.
Right now.
Yes.
Right now.
What does it sound like?
Like this. This is what it sounds like.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Is it like that?
Yes.
Oh my God! Even your high pitched laugh sounds weird because it's
Wait,
lower.
really?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, no, there's something wrong then. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's beautiful. MJ,
Hold
can
on,
you
hold
give
on,
us your
hold on, hold
thoughts
on.
here?
What about now? Is it different now?
No.
No.
All right, well then I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm gonna listen back to this. I'm so confused. It's like Will Ferrell in Step Brothers when he's like, I'll take that into is there something I can change about my face? It's like, no, it's just your face.
So
all right, well,
it honestly sounds like you need to clear your throat, and then it would get higher again.
Yeah.
dude.
But don't. MJ, go ahead.
That went off the rails a little bit. No, but Babcock, these young players need to get over it. I'm sorry, man. 14 out of 16 years he made the playoffs. Like, what do you expect? Like, he got fired, yeah, but he's going to be coaching within another year. Like, he's going to get hired by someone else. And I've been hearing talks that is it Seattle's getting the expansion team?
Yeah.
So they're saying it gives him a year to be back in NHL stadiums and look around and build the team he wants to build. So I think if he gets to pick who he wants to pick, gets the young talent he wants, I think that team goes almost Vegas night style. And
But how's he going to get them on board? You know what I mean? Like when there are,
he's going to get he's not going to inherit a team. He's going to get to pick who he wants. So during the interview process and stuff.
Sure, but here's my thing. You're going to have to get so with these expansion teams, you're going to have a lot of young players, a lot of prospects that come up. And something that they're going to all have to buy into the way that he coaches. And the fact that there are Hall of Fame players out there saying no one could buy into the way he coached. That's a problem.
Yeah, but there's Hall of Fame players that hate a lot of coaches either because they didn't like the way they had them practice. They didn't play them enough. They didn't run an offense that was correct for enough in any sport, not just hockey. So I see Babcock's. He's coming. I definitely think he gets a double job. And I think that team competes the very first year.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But it's real interesting, especially like you said, just with that Mitch Marner incident. But we'll keep tabs on Babcock, see what happens if he's going to coach again this year or coming up. Justin, what are you doing?
Just looking at my mic, trying to figure out why my voice sounds deep or something.
Yeah, because I just totally heard feedback, and I think it's because you unplugged your – so now we're going to have double voices, you butt. All right.
Dude, there's no feedback. Oh, I think I had my headphones were close to the mic.
I'm aware. Okay.
Oh, wow. Someone's an audio engineer now. Look at that.
You know what? I'm honestly not because I don't know what's happened to your voice. Who will finish better in Los Angeles, the Clippers or the Lakers?
Dude, I need to hear this. I can't wait to hear this back.
Oh, God, your laugh sounds demented, dude.
Does it really?
Yes.
Dude.
Really? It's creepy, dude.
That's insane. I don't understand what it is. What could it be?
I don't know. But let's talk about basketball, boys. No one wants to hear about how bad your recording quality is.
Kevin, we do have to take one thing into consideration.
What's that?
If more people listen to this because they like the way Justin's voice sounds during this, we're going to have to repeat that every time.
Yeah, we need to figure this out.
I don't know what to do with it, but
I'll just continue the steps of trying to shove my mic through this mesh thing every podcast. I'm sure I messed something up in there.
All right, so we're going to move on to the NBA now.
Really?
Who will finish better in Los Angeles, the Clippers or the Lakers? It's been so fun finally seeing the two teams in LA battling it out and being so competitive. The latest power rankings had Lakers number 1 and the Clippers number 3. I think that's very fair, and I think it's going to stay Lakers ahead of the Clippers by the end of the season, partially because you never know what's going to happen with moody Kawhi Leonard, and you never know with Paul George's health if that's going to be something they can sustain. And with the Lakers right now, LeBron is having another MVP season, no doubt. This guy is killing it, and that's hard for me to say because I do not like LeBron James. But
you hate LeBron.
He's killing it, man. He's got so many how many triple doubles so far in the year? He's got a couple.
I mean, put me on the spot then, you know.
Let me
Dude, you are the biggest LeBron follower I know. I'm so shocked you can't pull that number out of your
I just know that he has a ton of triple doubles this year and that he's leading the league in assists.
Yeah. So Justin, you agree the Lakers will supersede the Clippers?
I don't know. The Clippers were without Paul George for the first month of the year, so I think they'll catch up. And there's no way the Lakers are going to continue to. They're going to lose a couple games. They only lost 2 so far. They're going to lose something. Anthony Davis actually hasn't even looked that great this year yet, though. So that's impressive that the Lakers have been able to. And you're laughing because my voice apparently sounds like a freaking monster. I have no clue what's going on because on my end, I just turned the volume down, so I literally can't even hear you guys anymore, barely. So I can hear what's happening. And on my end, Kevin,
hey, it's not just me that thinks this. Thank you.
I know. That's what's baffling me because on my end, it sounds.
You know what's going to bother me is when we put this out and the recording like normalizes itself and it's totally fine. And I'm going to be like, you're going to think we're crazy. We're like, no, I swear that this happened.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm already mad about it. But no, I think the Lakers eventually will. I think they'll end up a couple games over the Clippers because they already have kind of a head start. Go ahead, MJ. I'm done talking.
I'm sorry, man. You sound like someone that's calling in to take a ransom and they're trying to get their voice.
And he's like shaded out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my identity's safe, right?
Yeah, it's
Are we serious? Guys, come on.
It's so bad.
I feel like you texted each other before this.
No, dude, I swear to God. I wasn't going to say anything until MJ mentioned it.
Sorry, I could. Anyway.
Was it from the whole time? The whole time?
Oh, yeah, dude. That? From the beginning. Very beginning.
All right, cool. No, because I want to make sure I didn't bump anything or something.
Your voice finally matches your nose. Anyway.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
It would make much more sense if I held it.
Okay. Anyway,
okay. No, okay.
The Clippers are going to continue to be the stepchild of LA. The Lakers are off to an awesome start. LeBron's playing the least amount of minutes in his career, and he's averaging the points and
he's
the rebounds and the assists. The thing I'm really excited about is he finally moved to point guard. Everyone's been waiting for that for years to happen. He's the best passer in the NBA. The things he sees and the plays that they're developing that haven't happened yet, it's like throwing a wide receiver open. The ball's there before the guy's even made the move. So I think he's averaging 11 assists right now, which is insane for a guy his size. And I heard a great stat today. I think what we're seeing is the fact that LeBron James only played 52 games or 56 games between June 2018 and October 2019. So for the first time in 9 years, he finally had rest. He was able to, take a break, get re-energized, get excited, and come back out and crush it. If this is what LeBron looks like with rest at 35 years old, that's incredible. Also, I think the Clippers aren't going to do anything because you never know which games Kawhi Leonard's going to play in.
Because
Kawhi, load management.
Yep.
Which got me onto this. Which got me onto this podcast, and it will be the cornerstone of the one thing I will bring down in the NBA.
Load management. Let's go to.
Well, our buddy Anthony wants to come on at some point and debate you on that because he's the only one out of all of us that is pro load management. So I bet that would be an interesting conversation to have.
Ask Anthony if he lets his CYO team do load management. I'd love to know that.
His 7th grade star point guard's like, hey, coach, I'm out tonight.
I'm not feeling it tonight, coach.
I have 2 tests tomorrow. I'm kind of tired.
7 sorrows. Yeah, you don't need me out there. They need me for the other ones.
I can't wait to debate him and prove him wrong. I'm going full Stephen A. Blasphemy will be said multiple times, and a high-pitched voice will come out.
Hey, speaking of high-pitched voice, do I sound any different now?
No.
We
told you that was not the thing.
No, because I just moved. I was moving some stuff around. I was trying to see if it was because my mic, the head was pointed towards me.
Dude, it's going to be this way. Just deal with it.
It's okay. We'll figure it out afterwards.
Yeah.
I hope we don't, because I need to hear this.
We're moving on to the NFL now.
No, real quick. One more thing I want to ask about the Lakers and the Clippers. Do you think – so the Clippers have both LA teams have a very deep team, just in different ways.
Yeah.
The Lakers are extremely long, have veteran presence. Guys that have won titles, guys that have been there, former, not all pro, first team All Pros. Like, and then the Clippers, I mean, that team was just already put together, and then you add George and Kawhi. Who do you think suffers more if a star player goes down? So, like, if Kawhi goes down, do the Clippers completely fall apart? If LeBron goes down, do the Lakers completely fall apart?
I think Lakers would fall apart more because you got people like Beverly to help pick up the pieces in Los Angeles. I don't see as much skilled players on the Lakers outside of LeBron than I do on the Clippers. Now, but again, here's the problem with the Clippers. They could lose both Kawhi and Paul George. That's not out of the possibility. Now, if that happens,
load management doesn't fix his knee.
Yeah, that could be dicey. Justin, what do you think?
I'm still messing around with my mic right now.
Oh, God, it got worse.
It got worse?
It got worse.
Oh, dude, that's so good. That's legit.
You sound like Barry White.
Wait. Okay, well then never mind. It's actually not even that big of a deal then.
Like I'm telling you, man, it literally sounds like you have something stuck in your throat. That's the best way.
I wish I could tell you that I do, but I literally don't.
Take a drink of Pink Whitney and see if that fixes it.
Bro, I'm listening to me. I know what I sound like right now.
No, you really don't?
No, but like I know what I sound like in real life. I don't know what I just knocked off the table there, but hold on.
Wait, can I ask you a question about your background right now? This is sports related, so it does go with the podcast.
Let's do it.
Do you have your diplomas hanging around
the boxing bag?
Yeah, dude, I fight off the ghosts of my past.
Or are you just trying to fight off debt?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's fighting off how much money he's got to still pay back.
I don't have any student loan debt.
Yeah, it's because you almost died.
For my college.
Oh, wow, that's even worse.
Anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, so we said, I think for the Lakers, Lakers would definitely struggle more, I think, because Kawhi basically did what we're saying he would have to do. Like, if Paul George went down, Kawhi would just carry that team because that's what he did with the Raptors to the championship last year. If Kawhi went down, I think that the Clippers would be in more trouble, though. I don't think Paul George is going to be able to carry that team, but I think that Kawhi could. I think that LeBron and AD could carry the Lakers, though. So I guess in that sense, Clippers would be in more trouble. I don't know. I just confused myself now.
It could go either way, for sure. What do you think? You asked the question.
I don't know, man. Like last year when LeBron went down, they were what, 4th in the West, 5th in the West?
Yeah, they were like good last year.
Yeah, but now with AD as a backstop, man, I think with the pieces they added was super intelligent. I still think they should have surrounded LeBron with more shooters, but that's here nor there. But I think if I'm with Justin, if Leonard goes down, man, I don't see George carrying that team. Sure. I mean, Doc Rivers is a much better coach than I think the Lakers coaching staff has, but a coach can only do so much. And I think Paul George and Leonard are much more fragile than a LeBron, actual healthy LeBron and an AD that's a happy AD. And I think being happy also plays into it too.
All right, so moving over to the NFL, we're going to get into our picks. But first, the Pittsburgh Steelers have decided to move away from Mason Rudolph and go with Duck Hodges as their starter, hopefully for the remainder of the year. Let's just go around here. Good move, bad move, Justin?
I think you had to do it. Mason just is a terrible quarterback. Yeah, and Duck obviously in the couple of games Duck has played, he's shown that he's been better than Mason every single time.
On that one drive he came in this past weekend, he surpassed Mason Rudolph's first half yard totals.
In like a pass.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly though, the pass to James Washington was like the Cleveland defender just basically tackled himself. So that was, it kind of got a little help there. But no, I think Duck is better than Mason Rudolph. And
I'd like to see if he's a possible answer. Like, we're not going to know, but I'd like to see. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. You haven't seen enough. Oh,
his name's Duck.
His name's Duck. I think that's all you need to know.
You haven't seen nearly enough of him. You haven't seen nearly enough to know that.
I think that you guys need to start with like an actual like first round caliber quarterback next year or the year following. I don't know if Ben's coming back or not, but
He is.
I mean,
He said he was.
I know, but
He'll
I'm
be back.
saying like skill-wise, if he's coming back or not. It's hard for someone that fat to come back after also not being athletically active for a full year.
Here we go.
Heck of a lot better than that quarterback trouble in Philadelphia, I'll tell you that.
There's literally no quarterback trouble in Philadelphia. We could talk about that too.
Mr. Miss throws?
He missed like 4 throws.
No,
we're all
way
set.
more than 4,
I mean,
buddy.
Ben Roethlisberger literally like leads the league in interceptions every time he plays. It's fine. It's all good. But no, I think you guys need to go. I mean, Hodges is definitely the answer for this year, but you're not going to go anywhere this year anyway. And like, I
don't know, dude. We're still in the wild card hunt. We hold a wild card spot right now.
No one in the wild card in the AFC is going to beat the Ravens.
No. But I meant like when you say going somewhere, I just assume make the playoffs. Like,
no. You'll probably make the playoffs because your division's trash.
Very, very much trash. Yeah.
Or I mean, not even the division, the conference basically.
AFC sucks.
Cleveland's taking the wild card spot from Steelers. Saying that right now.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Well, I guess we know who he's picking for that game this week.
I'm
Cleveland
absolutely
is not
picking
winning that game.
Yes, they are.
Cleveland's record.
They're not winning that game, but we'll get into that when we get to that game.
Yeah.
MJ, you happy with Duck getting the nod?
Yeah, I think that's fine, man. I think the Steelers have nothing to lose at this point. I also think it showed I love Tomlin doing it. I think this year showed how good of a coach he is. Like all the other years that they've been competitive. I mean, no, here's why, man.
You don't want it. You don't want it, Kevin.
Look what happened, man. You guys lose Big Ben immediately. You lose 2 star athletes in the offseason. And then, Juju hasn't been himself. Connor's been hurt with injuries. And you guys are still in the wild card hunt. That shows the good that shows the good coaching, man. I think this year proves, like, how good of a coach he truly is by keeping the team together, keeping you guys competitive.
Kevin,
look what he has to work with. Look what he has to work with. It's Mason Rudolph and now Duck. Again, I don't think you have
fire Mike Tomlin.
Whoa.
Fire him.
Kevin, I know that I've said a lot of things on this podcast.
Why is there an echo?
Is there?
Yes.
All right, I'm not talking anymore.
No, I'm saying fire. I've said this before, but MJ, you were not. But MJ, you weren't on the cast for it. We've talked about this for the last 2 to 3 years on the decisions that he makes have been really, really bad, and they've been affecting the team. Starting with the fact that he makes bogus challenge calls, which lose us timeouts. And even when we do have timeouts, he doesn't use them at the right times, and we lose them. It comes to his horrible offensive play call when he takes over the book from Randy Fichtner. It takes the fact that he's a defensive-minded coach, and up until this year, our defense has struggled. I know you're probably looking up his winning record. Yes, he has a very nice winning record.
I'm not looking up his winning record. I'm looking up when they lost their defense.
The last couple
whenever Minkah Fitzpatrick came back in.
Oh my God, dude, our defense was resurrected with Watt and Fitzpatrick this year.
Yeah, Kev, that's going to happen after you lose the caliber of defensive players you guys lost.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it was that way
the
for
same
years.
People kept your The same people through 2 coaches kept your defense dominant. Okay, and once they left, you have to recreate the whole defense. I'm sorry, you do.
Also, the one Super Bowl that he won was not his team. Was not his team. It was Cowher's team. I don't credit him for that Super Bowl win.
Oh my God.
That was Bill. It's kind of like with Gruden and Tampa Bay. I don't credit him with that. I credit Tony Dungy. There's no way. How can you give a guy? Because also, look, the other time we got to the Super Bowl against Green Bay, we looked terrible. We weren't prepared. Our play calling was bogus. We had no shot in that game when we were the favorites.
No. You played God's other nephew is what happened.
But we were still the favorite team. Our defense was better. We could have gotten to Rodgers. That's a whole other discussion. My point is Mike Tomlin, as good of a winning record he has, is more a testament to the players he's had over the years than his actual coaching.
So that's why I'm saying shut up. That's why I'm saying this year, not having any of that, you're still in the wild card hunt.
I think that's more because the AFC's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AFC is not good.
It's more of an indictment on the fact that the AFC
dude,
has no. Dude,
I don't
the
give
NFC
Tomlin
has
credit
like
for any of
two
this.
8-2s and like a 9-1. They have we have so many good teams in the NFC.
So
The amount of
how many other teams would be in the wild card hunt when they lose? I'm not talking about character now. I'm talking about skill on the field.
Yeah.
When they lose, AB, Le'Veon Bell, Ben goes down immediately. Juju is getting double covered for the first time in his career, and you have an unhealthy
And he's not a
running
one.
back.
And Connor's not a starting running back. Yeah.
That no one would be most coaches would have teams like the Redskins, the Dolphins, the Bengals. Like, come on.
No, but I mean, they do have the defense that is insane.
Our defense has been so good, and that's the only dude. Look at this game.
So are you going to say Tomlin didn't build that defense?
No, of course he didn't build that.
Who did?
The schemes, he didn't build that.
I mean, he didn't inherit it. He definitely
inherit it, Kevin.
Through the draft.
No, what I'm saying is he
Everyone's
lets Butler do all the scheming for the defense.
That's okay. That's why you
in.
hire good defensive coordinators. If
Okay,
more coaches
here's
would
my
freaking
point.
Delegate,
Here's
this
my
wouldn't
point.
happen.
Here's my point. The last 3 to 4 years, while we had that insane high-powered offense, where did we go? Arguably the best offense we had, including the 2 times we won the Super Bowl. We arguably have had the best offense over those last 3 to 4 years. What did we do? We didn't get there.
You had a horrible offensive coordinator, too.
My thing is,
Todd Haley and Ben never got along from the time he was there.
My thing is with the Tomlin is who do you get that's better right now?
No, I agree. I agree with that.
So when you fire him, who are you getting?
No, I agree.
So then why are you screaming? Why are you screaming?
Because I don't want him. Because I don't want him.
Then who are you getting?
I think it's very similar to the Andy Reid Eagles situation where we were getting to the NFC Championship game every single freaking year, but we couldn't get over that hump.
No, that's because we had a choke artist as a quarterback.
We weren't even getting to the AFC title game, though.
But then we get rid of Andy Reid, and what you guys need to be afraid of is if you do get rid of Mike Tomlin, you might end up with a Chip Kelly for a couple of years. Now, you might get lucky, and it might end up in a Dougie Peterson in a Super Bowl later on, but you might gut your entire team.
No, and I agree with the fact that I don't know who we would get, but my point is that doesn't stop us from having the frustration that we do with him right now.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a lot of the same things. For example, take this last weekend's game against Cincinnati. We should have, even though our offense is deplorable, we should have beaten them handily.
Oh,
they are the worst.
You almost lost
our offense is so bad that we had to put in our third-string quarterback to get us a touchdown.
And you also didn't have Juju, and you didn't have Connor. You're down to all backup freaking people.
Yeah, but Juju hasn't been producing at all this year, so
because
I don't
he's
even
not a
count
number
that
one
as a big
receiver, and
loss.
that's fine.
My thing is, you got to take a look at the fact that going out of the first half when we were losing to the Bengals, they asked Mike Tomlin on the sideline. They said, so what adjustments are you going to make? Obviously, as you're coming, he's like, we're not making any adjustments. Why? Why are you not making any adjustments? You are losing to an 0-10 Bengals team. I don't care if it's by 1 point or 10 points. You're losing to them. You have to make some sort of adjustment. And then it took us a heck of a lot longer to figure out how to beat them by what? What did we win by? Like 3 points?
6.
We
won 16-10.
It was awful. It was awful. I hated everything about that win.
Yeah, it's not really a win. I mean, it was a win, and you got into the wild card basically with it. But
MJ and Justin, you brought it up, and that's my problem. I don't know who the heck we'd get that would be better. So I guess we're just.
But I think this year it would have been so much easier for you had Mike Tomlin just sucked this entire year, and then be like, if they were 3-7 at this point, so much easier. Now the fact that they're fighting for a wild card,
I know
he almost bought himself an extra couple years now because what are you going to do? Like this year is a wait. Like you're not going to fire him after missing out on Ben and losing 2 star players.
No.
So then next year you're going to have kind of a new team. Some new guys coming in, and you're not
again.
The
only thing that's exciting about the Steelers right now is the fact that they have a great young defense. That's what's exciting about them right now. Other than that, there's not much to be excited for in the Steel City. So,
but on the plus side, Tomlin was touted as like when he came in as a defensive kind of guru mastermind,
but
and that was
players. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: we had decent defensive players but we weren't putting them in decent. I didn't say good. I said decent.
No, decent, but you have much better now.
Absolutely.
Your corners aren't complete trash anymore.
But that's why I'm not giving him all the credit for it. I'm saying the fact that the talent has been better and the players themselves have been playing better. But when you look at those 3 to 4 years where we had like one of the most dominant offenses in football, our defense was awful. Awful. Couldn't show up. So then what happens? We make the playoffs. Then last year we didn't make the playoffs. It's just it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And that's, I think, what's frustrating for Steeler fans. At least me and a couple others, like most people I talk to.
Fair enough.
But enough about that. Let's go into the picks on the NFL.
It went from Devlin Hodges to pure rage about
God.
Mike Tomlin's job status.
Also we should probably talk about this too. Lamar Jackson's the MVP. Bar none, hands down. There is no one close.
Russell Wilson.
No, it's Lamar Jackson. I said Russell Wilson last week. Dude, after watching Lamar Jackson throw 5 touchdown passes on 180-some yards and all the rushing yards he had to set it up, oh, dude. And that pains me to see a Raven win the MVP. But I totally think that that's the guy. What do you guys think?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he's so fun to watch. He's the second coming of Michael Vick right now. It's amazing.
But better, because he can throw better than Michael Vick could.
Michael Vick had a pretty good arm.
I'm not convinced on that yet.
Not
I'm
accurately.
Not convinced on that yet.
You're not convinced on the MVP thing?
No, I'm not convinced that he can throw that well yet. Calm down.
Yeah, I mean, he's efficient. He's efficient in how he's throwing, but he's not throwing for yardage.
Hey,
I
in
mean,
the NFL, when you're that athletic, you just have to be efficient.
True.
Yeah.
But this is the same guy that lost to the Browns, right?
Yeah, that was a pretty fluky game.
This is the same guy that lost to the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not ready to ordain him yet. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's beaten everybody else, though. I mean,
the Steelers lost to the Browns, and they have Mason Rudolph, so.
Not anymore. Duck, quack,
Oh,
quack.
darn. You guys are screwed now.
All right, so let's go into our picks for this week. Pull up the list, boys, NFL.com. We'll use that list. All right.
I'm afraid to do anything. I don't want my voice to get any deeper than it already is.
I'm not sure that's possible. Week 13.
I don't want my voice to
What the shit?
Edit.
NFL.com did not take me to where I thought it was going to take me.
What did it take you?
It was like to register for some server, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I just need to see the scores.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
So, Thursday football. It's Thanksgiving. It's great football, except no, it's not, because it's always the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, followed by the Cowboys. So,
it's so bad.
Oh, it's
so
the
bad.
worst. I just wish that they would change that up for 1 year.
Are there 3 games?
Yeah. It's
Good. That's what I thought.
so the first Thanksgiving game at sorry, I almost did the Mountain Time again. At 12:30 Eastern Time, the Bears are going to Detroit to play the Lions. Oh, that's going to be awful.
Ew.
That's going to be so bad. I might not watch that one. I'm just going to eat and not watch that football game. Lions usually play well at home on Thanksgiving. It's like the one game, even when they were horrible, that you knew they would like put up a fight. You know what? I'll pick the underdogs here. I'll go with Detroit. I'll go with Detroit in this game. I don't feel bad doing that.
Ew.
I'm not married to it, but I don't feel
No,
bad
I'm
about
just
it.
doing both.
Guys,
I'm gonna go.
Can we like? Ugh.
What?
Like next season, can we like once every 2 weeks? You just don't have to pick a game. Like you could just go.
You just get a
You get a bye.
You get a bye pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Bears here simply because Jeff Driscoll. I think that the Bears defense can do some things here. I think they're going to get to Driscoll a lot. Khalil Mack's going to terrorize him, and the Bears score like 15 points and win.
Gross.
I'm following Justin on that pick. I think the Bears. I think Khalil Mack has enough sacks that Detroit's quarterback sounds like Justin right now, and when he's doing the post-game interview.
Oh, I'm hurt.
All right.
I need to know why. What is this?
At 4:30 Eastern time, the Bills are in Dallas. I'm actually excited for that game. That'll be kind of fun to watch. I think Buffalo wins this game. I love the Bills this year. I love what they've been able to put together. And the fact that they're not just a home team, which has been kind of their story in the past. They play really well for their crazy fans, but when they hit the road, things got a lot more difficult. I don't think that's going to be the case, and I don't think that it's going to be too big for them. I think the Bills can come in here and win this game pretty handily, actually.
Justin?
Somebody?
Thinking. Bills for me too, although I feel like it will be a bounce-back game a little bit for the Cowboys. As an Eagles fan, I need the Bills to lose, I need the Cowboys to lose. So I'm going with the Bills, praying.
I'm going with the Bills, and if the Bills win this by a hefty margin, I'm predicting that Garrett gets fired immediately after the game.
What? A
Yep.
mid-season firing.
I'm calling it. If the Bills handily beat the Cowboys at home, which the Cowboys are not great at home.
Has Jerry Jones ever done that, though?
Kevin, he was comparing after the first 3 weeks
I know.
when they played nobody, that this was a more talented team than his Super Bowl teams, and they are not doing
That's
well.
also not true at all, but okay.
That was his comparison.
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't speak for the man.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, God, that's a bad comparison. Yeah, okay. I don't think he'll get fired midseason, but you know what?
Because clearly Amari Cooper, who had 0 catches for me in fantasy last week, is Michael Irving.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott's totally Emmitt Smith.
Has he broken 100 yards yet this year?
Yeah, he breaks it. He just doesn't score touchdowns. Really.
Oh, and remember, Dak Prescott is Troy Aikman. So
I think Dak Prescott's the only upside of that team right now.
I think so too.
Like he was trying to make. Oh, by the way, can we stay on the Cowboys real quick? That was not tripping. Can we all agree on that? I don't like
ruined
the Cowboys,
the game.
but
It really
that was
ruined
not
the game.
tripping.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
Twice,
2
too.
tripping calls? 2?
Yeah.
Come on.
2.
The final Thanksgiving Day game is at night, and it's the Saints versus the Falcons in Atlanta. If the Saints win, they clinch the NFC South title. I think this one should be easy for them, but we saw what happened last time, where this kind of just blew up in their faces.
Spread.
Yeah.
That's what I get for trust in Vegas.
I got to tell you, this is a hard game to pick because we've already seen what the Falcons could do this year, and they're at home, and it's Thanksgiving prime time. And the Saints have the NFC South title on the line with a win. And I think the Falcons would like to push that off. God, I don't know, though. Saints played really good last week.
Kevin, I'm not asking you to give up your firstborn here. Let's
going with New. It's hard, dude.
Speak for yourself, MJ. Please give up your firstborn, Kevin. I can say it in an even deeper voice if you'd like. But
that got dark.
Saints for me, they're just I'm between Saints, Seahawks, and 49ers is the best in the NFC right now. It switches for me daily, I feel like. But Saints are definitely up there. I think Michael Thomas is having a literal historic season. It's insane. So I think he continues that against that garbage Falcons defense.
I'm going Falcons. Fool me once. It's not happening again. Falcons. I picked the Saints.
Bad
to
matchup,
win in my
maybe.
suicide pool, and what happens? They lose. So I'm going Falcons. I'm going Julio Jones has a monster game. And they don't win by a lot, though. It's very close.
No,
I think it'll be very similar to the Carolina Saints game last week. That's the problem with the NFC South, man. Those games, no matter how bad each team are always good.
Same with the AFC North.
Too. Yeah.
Speaking of AFC North, Browns traveling to Pittsburgh for the rematch after the helmet swinging, where none of those players will be playing because Mason got benched. So others are suspended and he's benched. Browns are coming into Heinz Field, and they're not escaping with a win this time. It's in Pittsburgh. If the Steelers had handled the Browns every game since 2014. They will not get embarrassed again like that, especially at home. Pittsburgh wins this one pretty easily.
I don't know about easily. I think the Browns are kind of hitting their stride here, although they did just play, Pittsburgh and then Miami, so it's not like they played like juggernauts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they're hitting their stride here. I'm going to go with the Browns tentatively, but yeah, give me the Browns.
Okay.
Give me them, Kevin.
You already picked the Browns earlier.
Who, me?
Yeah, you did.
Never. No, I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
I was just kind of thinking it through after seeing the Mason Rudolph pinata last week. Just really trying to think. Please tell me you guys saw that, right?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Okay. So I'm going Browns. And I think it's an offensive show by the Browns. I really do. I think Baker gets picked at least twice, but I'm going to say OBJ. OBJ gets back into the end zone. Landry has another big game, and I think Chubb just crushes it.
Not against this defense.
Okay, Kevin.
Not against this defense.
You mean the defense Tomlin didn't make? Okay.
Yes. That exact defense, actually.
You mean the defense
you're in Denver? You think your stars you're in Denver?
You mean the defense that literally just did lose to the Browns, though? Also,
I blame our offense more for that than anything. They were on the field way too long.
So
Redskins,
you think your new offense is going to fix that?
Yeah, I was going to say. Now that Duck is in, all of a sudden,
I think Duck makes us quite better than with Mason, for sure.
Maybe he'll turn Juju into a 1.
He'll turn the ball over less than 4 times. I can tell you that much.
Juju isn't a 1.
Redskins at Panthers.
Who cares?
I'm going with the Panthers here. It's a home game for them. Redskins are coming off a win, but they're not going to win again. So.
No, the Redskins defense is coming off a win. Yeah. Let's get that straight.
Panthers for me. What's his face? Christian McCaffrey is having another. Speaking of historic seasons, Christian McCaffrey. Every time I look at his stat line, it's like 90 yards rushing and a touchdown, 90 yards receiving and a touchdown, just every single game, win or lose. And the Redskins just have nothing.
When you have him on your fantasy team, you still can't win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the only week that he didn't play well was the week you played against me. He had like 30 yards rushing.
And he did play well against me, and I still won. Jets at Bengals.
I don't get to make a pick in this game.
He doesn't get to make
sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers since my host is skipping over me because we disagree on one thing. All right, the Panthers are going to win by a lot. They're going to prove that the Redskins are bad. Go ahead, Kevin. What's the next game? Oh, is it Jets at the Bengals? It's going to be the Jets. The Jets are going to beat the Bengals. Okay? Big win coming off Oakland.
Hey, reverse
Darnold has
order.
the momentum. The ghosts have left the building. Jets.
If we're going to reverse order, I would also like the Jets. Can you give me some of the Jets, please? That would be great. I agree, Sam Darnold. That defense really is starting to step up. They're playing really well. I'll give you the Jets as well against the lowly Bengals.
Justin, Gase inherited that defense, so that's the only reason they're good. So
that's true. That's very fair.
They're not good, but the Jets will win. Titans and
no
Colts.
one said they're good.
Titans at Colts.
Ew, I don't like this game. This is
Dude,
nope,
I'm
on
the Titans.
Yeah. Yes, Tannehill train. Let's do
Tannehill
this.
Train.
Dude, I am all about that.
It all snapped at the same time for us. All of us just looked up at the same time like, oh, yeah, Tannehill.
My brother, as a Dolphins fan, is like, great. Tannehill's like a stud in Tennessee, but he couldn't do anything down there. I was like, that wasn't his fault. He had nobody in Miami.
Did you see who the Dolphins had around him?
Yeah, no, Tennessee wins that game.
Yeah, I think we agree on that across the board.
All right.
Of course, we'll all be wrong. Watch.
Justin, would you like to say something so I don't offend you either? Would you like to say the Titans win?
I already did,
he said
Kevin, and now I'm offended. Now I'm offended you weren't listening.
Buccaneers and Jaguars. Ew, gross. I'm going to go with the Bucs here. Their offense has been exploding as of late, although famous Jameis could be as god awful as he is for more games than not. But I'm going to go with the Bucs here anyway. Jaguars are still trying to figure out their rhythm with Foles back under center. We all got that pick wrong last week.
I'm staying on the train. BDN taking the dub.
No.
Wow. I'm going Buccaneers here.
Wow.
I think
this is a Super Bowl and you just abandoned him.
I'm jumping off the BDN train.
Justin said it in our group chat. He was like, he won us the Super Bowl. People forget the seasons of deplorable football he provided.
He had one good season under Chip Kelly, then had an awful one. And in the Super Bowl year, he was terrible the 3 games he started the regular season, terrible against the Falcons. He caught lightning in a bottle, beat Minnesota, beat the Patriots, and then was terrible again when he played in the regular season again. But no, I think that it's weird because people in Philadelphia are calling for Carson Wentz's head, and at the same time they're like, we should have kept Foles. And in Jacksonville, they're like, we should have Minshew starting. So like literally,
Gardner.
We would rather Foles, and they have Foles, and they don't even want him. So like, I'm going Buccaneers. Like you said, their offense is explosive right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Godwin is killing it. Penn
MJ?
State alum.
You're still sticking with BDN. All right.
I'm not changing that pick.
All right. Packers at Giants. Packers, obviously. No discussion needed.
No, I'm kidding.
Packers. It's hard to look at the Packers the same since they got absolutely just pantsed on national TV against the 49ers.
Yeah, they did.
On Sunday night. But I think that this is a bounce back game for them. The Giants just don't have enough firepower, I don't think. Barkley's looked like garbage kind of this year too.
Well, I think that's because everyone figured out that's where the ball's going.
Yeah,
so,
that's all they have. Yeah.
If you have 11 people spy on one guy, it's going to be kind of easy.
Also because he came back from an 8-week recovery high ankle sprain in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's probably some remnants of that injury too.
He should definitely be checked for some human growth hormones if that's the case.
Seriously. He has just nope, Justin. I stopped it again, but I'll let you guys know.
MJ, your pick, sir.
I'm going the Packers too, man.
All right.
It had to do with the amount of limbs.
Eagles at Miami. I'm picking the upset here, boys. I'm going with I'm kidding. I'm going with the Eagles. However,
no, we're going to lose. It doesn't matter.
I was going to say you could lose to the Dolphins this week. Not ruling it out. Here's what I'm going to say about the Eagles. They have no receiving core. That's obvious. But even though Carson Wentz has been battered and bruised, and that also shouldn't be happening as much as it is, there were a lot of throws these last 2 games that he's just missed. He hasn't looked the exact same as the MVP candidate we saw even earlier this season. But again, I don't know if that's due to injury. I have no idea if that's because – is his hand that's hurt?
There's something. There was just like a bruise or something like that. It wasn't as bad as it looked.
It's not – now, I'm not on the crazy Eagle fan idea of, we need to get rid of Wentz now because he had 2 meh games. Obviously, that's ridiculous.
2. 2. We shut him down last year. Run right into the playoffs like everything's fine.
And then lose. But here's the issue that I'm having with Eagles fans. We looked at freaking Jeremy sent a good video on Twitter of them. So basically what Wentz was getting a lot of crap for a couple of throws. I mean, he missed Sanders out of the backfield on 2 screen passes. That was his fault, 100%. Every quarterback misses passes. It happens.
But how does that? It's a screen pass. What's going to go 5 yards?
You missed your guy.
Got to go 5 yards.
As a pro quarterback,
he threw it behind
with $107 million guaranteed. It's got to go 5 yards.
You miss it sometimes. You overthrow sometimes. You get happy feet.
I'm going to tell you right now. Within 2 years, we're going to see $200 million wasted on Wentz and Goff.
Whoa!
$200 million in guaranteed
Whoa!
money.
I don't think that Wentz is. So then, anyway. Back to this. So they show the other one. So J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, they said that it was Wentz's fault that he threw it behind him. And then they showed the slow down thing, and it was Dan Orlovsky, like former quarterback, and he was trying to point out, like a person that actually knows football was saying, JJ Ortega-Whiteside's supposed to stop here, shows when Wentz starts to throw it, and then inexplicably, Wentz is about to release it, and Ortega-Whiteside just hops over like 2 more yards to the right, and it just ends up behind him. And then it happened again. Someone on a slant pass, they're supposed to run across the formation so that the guy can't undercut them, and he ran upfield instead, and it was thrown behind him. Like, it's something.
Sure, but that's only 2 examples.
There were like 4 or 5, and he missed like 3 or 4 throws. Exactly. Like, so.
But you shouldn't miss 3 or 4 throws.
Unless you're Lamar Jackson, you're missing 3 or 4 throws. Tom Brady was 17 for 32 this week. Like, it's happening. It happens. Like, it's part of football. And the fact that Lane Johnson, like, if you look at the stats when Lane Johnson is on the field versus when Lane Johnson isn't on the field, it is insane. And we're playing without Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks that game because he had an anxiety attack, and he is literally the number 1 rated right guard in the entire NFL, and we're missing him too. So you don't have your right side of your offensive line. You don't have 3 starting receivers. I know the Steelers aren't used to having a number 1 receiver because they have Juju, and he's not a number 1. But the Eagles didn't have
Juju is better than any receiver the Eagles have, even when they're healthy. So let's not even go.
He was going to get to that point, but you cut him off. So
yeah, but
okay.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yes, it was.
What were you about to say, Justin?
If we had Juju, we still wouldn't have a number 1 receiver, and that's fine. But also, no, what I'm saying is, not only did we not have, it would be like you guys not having Juju, James Washington, Deontay Johnson, whoever else the heck you have. We were literally playing Greg Ward off the practice squad as a freaking AAF quarterback / wide receiver. Like, we're playing with bare bones right now.
That's what we did with our running game. You just got to find a way to win.
Benny, you have your backup running back. We didn't even have our running back either. So you had James Conner out. We had Jordan Howard out. We lost Darren Sproles for the year. We're playing freaking Miles Sanders and.
There's a lot of excuses over there.
I mean, at some point though, you have to have some NFL skill players on your team.
Of course, I agree with
quarterback
that.
to look good. Eagles by 1 million against the Dolphins there. and anyway, Eagles fans are all mad. Let's look at the silver lining here. Our defense against the Patriots and I'm literally forgetting who we just played. Seahawks. 2 really good offenses, giving up 17 points each. Our defenses looked really good all of a sudden, and they looked like trash most of the year. So I'm looking on the bright side. Good defense. Offense will come back around. This is rock bottom for Wentz. Only up from here. Eagles win.
And this is from Justin Mandia.
This is from Justin freaking Mandia.
You're a
if you
moron.
Want to see Nick Foles
again. You're a moron. The Eagles win. Move on to the next pick.
Thank you.
Well, you seem to disagree with the Wentz stuff, though, MJ.
Yeah. I think
what are your thoughts on that?
We paid him too soon again. They should have let him go this season on the contract, see what happened. He wouldn't be there next year. They should have paid him. No. I said that last year. They should have let him go. So what? You're going to pay him $40 million, whatever. That's going to happen.
No, but it doesn't. It didn't happen now. Now we have that money to pay someone else.
Who have we paid?
Brandon Brooks, Rick Lovato, long snapper.
Keep going. You know, all these players we should have went after to help our team. We didn't.
By the way, Deshaun Jackson's on a 1-year contract, and so is Jordan Howard. I don't know what you do with that.
You just released Jordan Howard, didn't you? No, not Jordan Howard. Jordan Matthews. Sorry.
Yeah,
just released Jordan Matthews.
Yeah.
That would have been real bad. That would have been some bad news for you to hear.
They're just like, yeah, no, we don't need him.
We don't need him either.
We got Miles Sanders.
Yeah, no, it's weird in Pennsylvania football in general this year. The 49ers going to Baltimore. This is going to be an awesome game.
Best game.
Wow, this is a tough one to pick.
MJ.
Ravens are really hard to beat at home.
Pick Whitney.
But I'm going with San Francisco. I like the 49ers in this game. I like the matchup. I like their defense. I think that they're going to be able to show that the NFC is the class of the NFL this year with this win. This could be a possible Super Bowl this year. So a Harbaugh rematch without one of the Harbaughs.
Well said. Go ahead, Justin.
Dang it. I don't like the 49ers still.
I still don't know what your deal is and your hang up on them. Like, what's your problem?
I don't know what my problem is.
You just don't believe in them.
I don't believe in them. There's something about it. And I know, normally I have like evidence to back up what I'm saying. I don't have any evidence. They're 10-1 and they look really good right now. My evidence before was the fact they didn't play anyone the first 8 weeks of the season, and that's a fact. They just beat the Packers. I think the Packers are someone, so I think that's good. I'm gonna go. Dude, I'm gonna go Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens. I don't like it though. I hate it actually. I hate it so much, but I hate the 49ers more than I hate this pick. So I'm going Ravens.
I'm going Niners. I'm going Niners, man.
Do you trust Garoppolo?
Yeah.
No, but I trust their defense.
I
think the Niners defense are going to tee off, and they're.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
I think Lamar.
The reason
is proof.
Hold on. Here's the thing. The reason the Ravens look so good. Was it last night? Yeah, last night. Yeah.
Right.
The reason the Ravens look so good last night is because when they run the ball, it's been said they try to punch you in the mouth. Yeah. And I think the San Francisco has a defense that when they tackle you, they try to punch you in the mouth. So you line Bosa up across from Ingram, that's going to be a good matchup. I don't know who wins that, but I think it's going to be fun when they meet every time he hits the hole. So I'm going to go Niners. I think I'm going to go
I know. That's where I'm at
20 some points, somewhere around there. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Lamar,
No.
I don't think he gets 5 touchdowns again. I think he gets picked once or twice.
I think they hold him at bay in the running too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But both defenses are good. Oh,
Yeah.
This is going to be.
It's going to be a great game. Classic NFL game.
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
But I'm going Niners.
All right.
Under no matter what it is though.
Rams at Cardinals. I'm taking the underdog here. I'm going with the Cardinals here. The Rams are garbage. The Rams have just been unbelievably bad. Jared Goff has been deplorable. I mean, just absolutely awful. And Justin, can you please explain to everybody what happened to you last night? We were playing 2K and he goes, I have the game up on this other screen and I'm watching it for my other fantasy game. Please tell them the horror that happened to you last night.
I was up 5 points going into last night. He had Justin Tucker, the kicker. I had Brandon Cooks. And I'm like, obviously, all I have to do is have my wide receiver not get outscored by a kicker by 6 points. And what happens? Brandon Cooks gets outscored by 8 points. So I lose by 2 to a kicker, basically. And I had a chance of being number 1 in the league. If I would have won, I would have been number 1. And I lost that game, so I went down to number 4. And now I'm struggling to survive because it's a 14 playoff. I got to make it 2 more weeks at number 4. It's making me angry.
Justin, on that point, last night going into the final game, I have Mark Andrews, the number 1 receiver on the Ravens. I need to score 5 whole points. The other guy I'm playing has nobody left to play. I lost by 0.7.
And they threw 5 touchdowns too.
Wait. When he caught that 20-yard sprint down the middle, that what would have been was they challenged on a fumble but wasn't a completed catch. He holds on to that ball, I win. Then I see Robert Griffin starting in the 4th. I'm like, Andrews is benched. They're definitely not playing him. I just lost by 0.7.
So, Justin, who do you pick? I got the Cardinals.
I
like the
Cardinals
Mahomes.
as well, but I think it's definitely going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
Because Cardinals defense is kind of rough.
Kyler Murray's been real good.
Yeah, and I mean the Rams just showed that they struggle against the mobile quarterback. So back-to-back mobile quarterback weeks is going to be rough. I'm going to go Cardinals though.
Jared Goff, is he still starting?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, then Cardinals are going to win.
Yeah.
Is Gurley still in the backfield and they're not handing him the ball? Yeah. Cardinals are going to win.
Raiders.
The Patriots broke the Rams in the Super Bowl last year.
You know what's going to happen? The Patriots are going to wait for the Rams to fall apart, and then Belichick's going to go, I need you, and you, and we're going to win again.
Aaron Donald for like the veteran minimum.
Right. Raiders at Chiefs. Raiders coming off a devastating blowout loss.
So bad.
34-3 to the Jets.
So bad.
Which is why they lost their wild card spot to the Steelers.
So bad. I have the Raiders winning that division.
However, I do too, and I have them winning this game. I think they beat the Chiefs. I think they come back with a vengeance. There are going to be some Gruden grinders out there coming out after losing to the Jets. I think they take it to the Chiefs. Mahomes has not looked as good as he has in the beginning of the year. I like the Raiders in this game a lot. I think it's going to be a smash mouth game. I think the Raiders try to put their hold on this division.
Chiefs for me. I mean, what the Raiders just showed last week, Derek Carr got benched. I mean, that's rough. I don't know how you give up 34 to the Jets. It makes no sense. Nothing makes sense. It's got to be the Chiefs. I think that they're going to start rolling back into form here. Their defense has actually started playing a little bit better. Chiefs have, so I think that they can kind of put everything together here and take a hold of that division now. Raiders lost their chance.
MJ?
Just win, baby. Let's go Raiders.
That's right.
Gosh.
That's right.
I still have them winning that division.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you at least less confident in it now? After?
No.
I think they come back with a vengeance.
I mean, the Ravens lost to the Browns, and you guys just said that was a fluke game. So it's a fluke game. I think they're fine.
Yeah. Chargers at Broncos. Good.
God, who cares?
Good. Game's out here in Denver.
Is elite Flacco so?
No. And people out here in Denver are done. They are so done. They're watching hockey and basketball. They aren't even dealing with the Broncos.
Do they sound like you talking about Mike Tomlin, but talking about the Broncos?
Yeah, how I feel about Tomlin is how they feel about Elway. So I'm going to go with the Chargers because Broncos are worse than the terrible Chargers. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be gross.
No. I'm going to go Chargers, low-scoring affair here.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers.
A lot of turnovers.
I'm going Chargers 13-3. That's how much confidence I have in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
Pats at Texans. This could be a very interesting football game. Although the Texans are 0-5 versus New England under head coach Bill O'Brien, and that's including playoff matchups. So they haven't matched up well with the Patriots in the past. However, Tom Brady, that game against the Eagles kind of, showed some things about him that were a little bit more negative than in his past production. So I'm going to go with Houston because they're at home, and I like Houston this year. I still think they can be one of the AFC contenders if they start to get back on their feet. And I think they can against New England at home. I think they can get rid of that 0-5 stain on their record against New England.
From what I've seen from the Patriots the past 2 weeks against the Eagles and Cowboys, they've looked not great offensively. Defensively, they look amazing. So it's kind of, to me, the game comes down to, is it going to be a shootout where I think that the Texans offense is more high-powered than the Eagles and Cowboys. And I think that if the Patriots continue to struggle to score, then the Texans will be able to win. So I'm going to go Texans, but I think it's going to be really close.
Yeah.
God's nephew still starts for the Patriots, so we're going to go with them.
All right.
I think he just does just enough to win.
And then Monday Night Football, Vikings at Seahawks, another good NFC game. I think I would go with the Vikings if it was in Minnesota, but because it's not, I'm going with Seattle. I love what Russell Wilson and this offense have done, and this defense has stepped up when a lot of people wrote them off earlier in the year. I think Seattle and San Francisco are going to fight it out for that NFC spot with the Saints, and I think they're going to prove that here, and they're going to beat the Vikings.
I'm going to go I'll go Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson continues his MVP season.
He's putting up a fight for it for sure.
He is. He is. And I think, the Vikings they're coming off a bye week, right? So
yeah,
they've had 2 weeks to prepare for him. No, I'll go Seahawks still. I don't love it.
Going Vikings. I think Captain Kirk has it together. He's actually throwing the ball to his talented receivers. And Dalvin Cook, man, is just filthy. So I'm going to go Vikings, and I'm going to go by at least 14.
Wow.
Holy heck!
Wow.
If you lose to the Teddy Bridgewater Saints at home, yeah, I'm sorry, not convinced.
Whoa.
All right.
That was a shot at the Saints.
If you
Yeah.
only beat the college football Eagles roster by 8, I don't trust you either.
All right, so we're going to end with a segment that we're going to add in from now on called our Last Things Last segment, where we give each of us kind of comes up with any story throughout the entire world of sports that we want to discuss, like kind of a rapid fire discussion. And it'll be different every week. And all of us, we don't talk about it beforehand, so it's a surprise to all of us. So Andrew, we're going to start with you. What's your Last Things Last for this week?
I'm going college basketball.
All right.
And I'm going to go as far as to say I don't think there's a dominant team, and I don't think anyone goes through the season undefeated. All the upsets that are taking place, man, I think it's great for college basketball. It's a lot of fun. I think Duke will get theirs. It'll come up. Being a Duke fan, it's very hard for me to say that, but I think they're going to get theirs coming up. I wasn't sold on Duke at the beginning of the year. They've had some good wins so far. Their offense is doing great. Their defense is especially good, but I think we're just going to see more and more college teams overlooking these mid-majors or teams you've never heard of, basically. And I'm going to go so as far to say that by the end of the year, when we hit March Madness, the number 1 through 5 seed, I'll go 1 through 5 seed, have at least 2 to 3 losses per team. There's no dominant team in college basketball this year.
I don't think that's that hot of a take. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. Justin, what's your Last Things Last?
Last things last here. We had covered it last week. We kind of alluded to it slightly this week. But I was just listening kind of even more context behind the whole Mason Rudolph, Myles Garrett incident. There was talk that I guess we'd talked about last week was that on the podcast where we said that Myles Garrett came out and said that Mason Rudolph had some racial slur?
So that
came out after.
We could record it Wednesday night, and he met with them, I think, Thursday morning.
Thursday.
So that didn't come out till Thursday.
Yeah, so they had talked about, Myles Garrett supposedly came out and said that Mason Rudolph.
You and I talked about it live on the Instagram thing. Yeah,
on an Instagram thing. Exactly. Yeah. So what I heard, though, recently is that someone close to the Myles Garrett camp said that he wasn't the one, that he didn't want that out. Apparently he had been saying it, and his camp was trying to keep it quiet because they wanted to make sure, they didn't want it to be a thing. They just wanted it to be part of the investigation, but they didn't want it to be out in the public. And then someone from his camp leaked it. So he didn't even want that out. And then it came what we were talking about was, I was saying it obviously didn't happen because why would he just come out and say it 7 days later or whatever? But what turned out was he had said it right away, but said he didn't want anyone to he didn't want to talk about it or whatever. And then someone at his camp just let it out. So it gives a whole nuance to the thing, to the situation. But on top of that, just for me, my opinion, I think that the end of this season needs to be the end of that situation. There's been talk about the past week, his appeal was denied, and they said, you still have to next season. You have to come back to us before you're reinstated. So there's a chance that he might not play some games next season. I don't think it needs to be dragged out that long. I think once you've been separated from it for a week or two, the first reaction was it looked like he killed a child on the field, basically, was our first reaction. We've never seen anything like it. It's the most horrible thing that's ever happened ever. And I think once you get a week or two back from it, you look at it for what it is. He lost his cool and swung his helmet at someone. It happens. It's a football. There are men that were engaged in an angry football fight. Something happened. I think it needs to end at the end of the season and just forget about it for next season.
Totally agreed. My Last Things Last is Katie Ledecky proves that she can be as polarizing an athlete as Michael Phelps after the 2020 Olympic Games. This girl has been unbelievable in the water for the United States and for Stanford University. The Olympics are now adding the 1500 freestyle, which is one of her best distance events, into the Olympics this year. And I think she's going to easily take gold in that. She was the most decorated female gold medal winner from the 2016 Olympics. I think she goes in and has an even better performance. 3 weeks ago at the TYR Pro Championship, she absolutely killed it again, setting records, swimming just absolutely incredible races. And I think that she becomes not just the female version of what Michael Phelps became, but she becomes as polarizing a American athlete as Michael Phelps after this Olympics. I really do. Thoughts on
I
that?
wish I knew enough about swimming to agree with you, but I'm going to agree with you.
I'm going. She has a Ryan Lochte-esque Olympics. Gets arrested for something and doesn't even
She ain't
call.
like that at all, buddy.
I'm going Ryan Lochte-esque Olympics.
She's not.
No, Kevin.
She accuses an entire
Kevin,
country of being thieves.
Kevin, I'm in complete agreement with you. She's awesome
love
to
her.
watch in the pool.
And she's 22. She's so young.
Makes us think, what have we done with our lives?
Dude, her first Olympics, she was 15.
I swam once too.
She was 15. So, yeah. And what's cool is Phelps swam for the Baltimore Aquatic Club, and she's from D.C. So, like, that whole area there apparently has been giving out some really great swimmers. It'll be cool to watch her go.
Yeah, completely off topic, but on topic, swimming talk.
Yeah.
There's 2 weeks at the end of every summer where the Beltway, you can drive it in a normal amount of time because swimming season is over and all the families go on vacation. Yeah. It blows my mind. I didn't think it was
a year-long thing.
One day I'm sitting on 495 going, what the heck is going on right now?
when your summer season ends, you have like 2 weeks and then your winter season begins. It's insane. But yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do. But after I watched some of her races from a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like, man, I'm so excited for her. So yeah.
Also, I think we should petition swimming that goggles should not be allowed and all men are required to have mustaches.
Like Spitz?
Yeah, that was swimming.
Dude, and not to mention the lane ropes were just fluttering, so waves were just crossing. You had all this resistance when you swam back then. But yeah, crazy stuff. So yeah, guys, those are our Last Things Last. This is the Last Things Last podcast. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you later.
Please stop recording.
And we're out.